Hello, you. Welcome back to another commentary. If you're new here, sit back, relax, and grab a snack, because we about to chat. You know, there was a time when authority actually meant something. Teachers were respected, police officers were trusted, and parents had the final say in their households. Not because they were always right, but because respecting authority was seen as a fundamental part of a functioning society. But somewhere along the way, that changed. Now, nobody trusts authority anymore. Kids openly disrespect teachers in classrooms. Employees treat their bosses like they're clueless. And people assume that every cop is corrupt and every politician is a liar. Which, hey, fair point. The default attitude towards authority today isn't respect, it's skepticism. And in some cases, it's straight up hostility. So what happened? Is this a sign that society is falling apart? Or is this actually a good thing? Maybe a wake up call that authority figures need to earn back the respect that they've lost. Let's break it down. For most of history, authority was something that people instinctively respected. Not because they were brainwashed, but because there was an understanding that without structure, society would fall apart. Parents set rules so kids wouldn't grow up reckless. Teachers enforced discipline so students would actually learn. And police maintained order so crime didn't spiral out of control. Bosses had authority because they were responsible for keeping businesses running. And yeah, there have always been bad leaders, corrupt officials, and incompetent bosses. But the overall belief was that authority had a purpose. It wasn't about power tripping, it was about keeping things from descending into chaos. But somewhere along that way, that trust eroded. Now, we're at a point where challenging authority is the default reaction. Let's be real, a lot of people in positions of power today didn't earn it. Teachers can't control classrooms, and instead of enforcing discipline, schools just lower the bar. Bosses demand respect, but they're out of touch with the people actually doing the work. Cops who abuse their power make it hard to trust the ones that actually do their job right. And politicians lie so much that people assume all of them are corrupt. It's hard to respect authority when the people in charge don't act like leaders. Now, back in the day, people only saw what the news wanted them to see. Now, every corrupt cop, every lazy CEO, and every hypocritical politician gets blasted on social media in real time. People are questioning the system because now they see the cracks. Lies don't last as long because there's proof everywhere. Scandals that used to be covered up now go viral overnight. When people see constant evidence that authority figures abuse power, lie, or fail at their jobs, why would they respect them? Another reason respect for authority has died is because people are being taught to question everything, which isn't always a bad thing. Schools push critical thinking, social media pushes skepticism, and news medias constantly expose corruption. And in many ways, that's a good thing. Blindly following authority has led to some of history's biggest disasters. Questioning power keeps people accountable. But the problem? We've maybe overcorrected. Now, instead of questioning bad authority, people reject all authority. And that's just dangerous. And here's why they're dangerous. Because when people stop trusting traditional authority altogether, they don't just become independent thinkers. Instead, they start looking for new leaders to follow. And instead of finding actual experts, they fall for the loudest voices. They don't trust their boss, so they start listening to some random guy on YouTube, possibly named Big John, shout out to myself, telling them to quit their job and start dropshipping. I'm not telling anybody to quit their job and start dropshipping. They don't trust financial institutions, so they take investment advice from a dude renting a Lamborghini on Instagram to look rich. They don't trust doctors, so they start believing health advice from influencers who say drinking salt water will cure everything. They don't trust elected leaders, so they start idolizing self-proclaimed thought leaders who build entire brands around telling people what they want to hear. And this is the cycle. People lose faith in real authority. They go looking for new guidance. They end up following people who are even less qualified. So in other words, we're not rejecting authority, we're just replacing it with worse authority. Now there are times when disrespecting authority is the right move. When authority is corrupt. If a system is broken, people should push back. That's how change happens. when rules don't make sense. Some policies are outdated, unfair, or just straight up dumb. Challenging them forces progress. When leaders abuse power. Respect should be earned, not demanded. If someone in charge is a tyrant, they should be called out. But here's where that gets dangerous. When people reject all authority just for the sake of it. Kids who don't respect teachers don't learn discipline. Employees who don't respect leadership never advance in their careers. And a society that rejects all authority collapses into chaos. There's a difference between questioning authority and rejecting all structure. If nobody listens to anyone, things stop functioning. And the worst part? When people stop respecting traditional authority, they don't become free thinkers, they become easy prey for fake gurus, social media influencers, and con artists who fill the leadership vacuum. So how do we fix this? How do we rebuild respect for authority without letting bad leaders get away with anything? First, authority figures need to earn their respect back. If you're a leader, whether it's a teacher, boss, parent, or official, you can't just demand respect. You have to prove that you deserve it. You have to be competent and know what you're doing. You have to be fair and not abuse your power. You have to be accountable to your own mistakes. Respect is not automatic. It is earned. Second, people need to recognize the difference between corruption and structure. Not all teachers are bad. The ones who care do deserve respect. Not all police are corrupt. The ones protecting you should be valued. And not all leaders are liars. The ones who take responsibility should be supported. If we assume all authority is evil, we throw out good with the bad. And that's a dangerous path. Third, we need to challenge power, but not destroy it. Yes, question authority. Hold leaders accountable, but don't fall into the trap of rejecting all leadership, because the moment nobody respects any structure, you don't get freedom, you get chaos. And the fourth point goes directly off of that, and that you can't just blindly follow alternatives. So yes, question authority, and hold leaders accountable. But also, be careful who you replace them with. Just because someone sounds confident does not mean they're right. And just because someone else is anti-establishment doesn't mean that they're telling the truth. Just because someone makes you feel smart for questioning the system, it does not mean that they're giving you real answers. Because at the end of the day, rejecting bad authority is good, but replacing it with frauds, influencers, and con artists is much worse. So to wrap it all up, authority itself is not the problem, but bad authority is. When we reject all leadership, we lose something important, which is mentorship. A good mentor isn't just an authority figure. It's someone who guides you, challenges you, and helps you grow. The best athletes have coaches who push them beyond their limits. The most successful people have mentors who show them the ropes. And the strongest communities have leaders who set the standard and keep people accountable. The truth is, nobody succeeds alone. You can rebel against authority all you want, but at some point, you're going to need guidance from somebody who's been where you want to go. So don't just reject authority, but seek out good leadership. Find mentors who actually deserve your respect. And most importantly, become someone worthy of respect yourself. Because in a world where bad leadership is everywhere, the best way to fix it is to be the example that others can follow. This whole issue, the collapse of respect for authority, connects directly to a bigger problem. People don't trust anything anymore. In one of my previous commentaries, The Cult of Self-Love, I talked about how people today reject any form of criticism or structure. They don't want to be told what to do, even when it's for their own good. And that same attitude? It's what's fueling the rejection of all authority. So here's my question for you. Do you think that the loss of respect for authority is a good thing, or has it gone too far? Is society better off questioning leadership, or have we created a culture where nobody listens to anyone? If you like commentaries, check out my commentary series where I break down why discipline is more important than motivation, why society rewards mediocrity and discourages accountability, and how the illusion of choice is being used to control people, not empower them. You can check out that playlist at the top corner of the video right now, or at the end of the video where it's linked in the outro card. Also, if there's something you'd like me to discuss, whether it's life, politics, work, or anything else, send me an email at bigjohn.submissions@yahoo.com and I'll answer your questions in a future video. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
The